need a drink of water. Thirsty already from walking. Morning. Hi Angela. Are you up early too? Yeah. I just thought I'd come on and see how everybody is. Hi RW. It's nice to just have a chat and people who are up to come and keep me company in the morning. Passes the time a bit quicker when I'm walking. Doesn't seem as long. Yeah, I was just going to say, well, let me get further down the road a bit just in case any others pop in, they might know, because it is early. I'm just coming up to where, what's that about? Where Phineas hit his dad's. It's funny that I have to walk past every morning. It's just funny. But I don't hold grudges, so it doesn't really matter. Hi from Vancouver. We're just heading to bed over here. Bring your light, Janine. When this move going to end? Oh, thank you. Oh, I was just about to say, Nationals in as well. Hi, sweetheart. Keep running and while walking. Yeah. Well, I put end game because for the people who know and the people who are observing what's going on, you know, they're talking a lot about Putin in the news. So you know there's something coming. We know they're trying to, well, the news are pushing nuclear war, but we know that's a bit of bullshit. And when you look into it, who's been funding things like that, especially the presidents before Mr. T, and even apparently our Miss Truss over here, who I don't watch, so, you know, she's just give a load of millions and billions to certain countries that have been pushing certain things in the news of somebody's done this and we'll blame it on, you know, Russia or whatever. So you see all that going on. And if most people do the homework, it's against the New World Order. So, you know, when they keep talking about someone and they're in fear about talking about it, you know, there's something going on. Also, Durham report starts this month, so that's going to be interesting because that's where I see, for me, everything sort of rolling out, even though it is but the reports. Also, the lovely Candice Owens in America has been reporting on PayPal. She was asking for people to come away from it only because if you're a hardcore truther, and I mean hardcore by the people who do a lot of work, you know, they're shutting down accounts and things, so if you have money in there, you know, you might not get it, but whether or not, you know, maybe it happens a bit, but it's like people were saying in the comments on one of the videos that, you know, a lot of these places will have court cases chucked at them, or they'll just go, like with the financial system, what's going on. It's not that, I don't think all banks are going to shut. I think it's just certain ones, and also, you've got to remember, you take the shite asses out and put the good people in. Some systems can stay, and I know people hate the word system, but, you know, people understand. So, to me, it's just keep watching, you know, and seeing what they're reporting on, because we know it's normally back to front, but because they're screaming a lot about Putin at the minute, makes me laugh. So, hi Red Jedi, Grand Risings, Jane, beautiful people in chat, yeah, Grand Risings to you, it's nice to see you all in chat. But it's like I keep telling people, and most people are telling people, don't be one of the ones who's always saying, when's it going to happen, and going into fear about it's too slow and all this. Like I said before, many of it's a massive scale operation. So it's got to be done properly. But like I say, if you're keeping an eye out, not being too enthralled in it, like I don't watch the news, but obviously things come up everywhere. I get sent stuff as well. Stuff was always in the Q posts a few years ago, it's all there for people to see what's forthcoming. And even a guy at work said the other day, you know what's really weird? Because these people they've all had the you know what, and they don't really get it sometimes, but they were like, The Simpsons, so how did the Simpsons know certain things were going to happen? And this, that and the other. And I went, well, if you think about it, this is how I see it. If there's a plan against the shite asses, as I like to call them, the good ones, who are also, they can be people who are classed as people with more money or whatever, because obviously they can get things out there and get things done. They could have put certain, like the entertainment business puts things in front of our faces, they can also do that as well. On the light side, white hats versus black cats, talking about the game of chess. Because I do believe as well, and many have said this, there's people that have been on what we would say was the wrong side, the dark side, that have not agreed with how far some of this stuff has gone, and they may have turned. Some people just like to be on the winning side, so whatever. Stephanie Young, hi. Yeah, I can't see it really. Yeah, don't see how Mr. T people can't see that. Yeah, so there's been tactics on both sides. So sometimes people, one of the guys at work the other day was going about time travel. He went, yeah, you're into all this stuff, aren't you? I went, yeah. And he was going on, and then someone said, have you seen the film? Is it K-Pat or whatever it's called? What? I said, yeah. I said, well. And then that's when the guy came up with the whole Simpsons thing. But I went, yeah, but if those people in the Simpsons have had white hats in, they're trying to put it out to the people, just like the other side do with films. So it makes more sense to me. But I think some people would say, oh well, it's all the side of the dark side, and if it's entertainment, it's all the side of the dark side, and The Simpsons is part of that, and that means, if they showed Mr. T coming down the escalator, it still means he's the same side as the coin, and it's like totally different. That's what cracks me up. It's totally different. Totally different. They don't go after people against people as much as they did with him. They normally highlight people as really, fantastic, and like, look at what this person's doing, that like in a really good light, especially like when they use celebrities, to push their products and things. It's like, we know they do this, but you forget sometimes, like, a lot of women these days, they have all this stuff like Botox and that, each their own, but a lot of these products have, it says in them, animal and human, I don't know about these products, which we know where that's been coming from. When you think about the push with fetuses and stuff like that, so, but they will use people. It's like the Kardashians, never been into them, there's such a big following with them, because it's a load of, basically a family of girls, and they push all their, makeup lines and this, that and the other, and a lot of them have had surgery, so to me, there's not much natural there, and I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying. And also Kanye, we said Kanye I said Kanye was good ages ago. When it was perceived he had that breakdown, and he said he went in hospital, and he said the whole thing with the hair blonding, but we said he had got out, because I believed he was controlled. And when he went on stage and shouted out, "Don't listen to the news," the radio, and he went and did his thing, and he got away from her. She's been in the spotlight lately as well about monies and stuff, and because I think a lot of them for the people, and he's obviously a MAGA supporter, he's a Mr. T supporter, and you could tell. I don't know what you were saying. Do you think they will announce Charles passing before May? Oh yeah, and the other thing is Charles, so let's get one thing right. He's not king, because he's got to have his coronation or whatever you call it, because people call him that now, and he's not. You don't automatically become. I don't mean anyone in the chat, I mean that's what they've been saying, because it gets in people's heads. But yeah, so they're saying, what is it, next year that he'll be doing that? They want to crown him. Yeah, I personally think he's going to go before that, because there's reports about saying he was near to death, so it's like, make your mind up, and something about his sausage fingers. I would personally say, I'm not a doctor, but I would personally say the reason why he's got fatter fingers is because it isn't him. I believe they were all cleared out a while back, but hey, who am I? Crazy conspiracy theorist. But yeah, he definitely won't be. I don't believe he'll be crowned. And neither would he be even sat on the stone of destiny anyway. And then, who does it go down to then? Are they bothered? All that sort of stuff going on. So it's crazy. It's not him, I believe that too. Do you think, William? I don't know with the whole that, because they've always reported that they weren't bothered about it. And maybe things will come out by then, or because they're not doing very well with being popular at the minute. But if something happens and he doesn't want to, then does Harry come in, who we all know isn't Charles's anyway, which is hilarious. Does he really want to? Or does it, I don't know, does it fall away, break away? I don't know. The only one thing I will tell you is weird, and again, not weird, about Harry is, heard his doctor is saying he has a heart condition. Yeah, that's what they've been reporting, so I don't think he'll be around to be crowned, even though I don't think it's him. But when Mr. T was in ages ago, and we all know he does a lot of Q signalling, he did a boom thing where it was like boom, and we've always said that with Q. Now there was a video a few years ago, like I said, when Mr. T was in, and Harry and the Queen were talking to Obama, and they did the whole Q boom thing, and they were like boom, and they pulled faces, and I thought the Queen didn't look like the Queen, it looked like a lookalike. And then I thought, is he in with the white hats? I'm not saying he is. It was odd at the time, because it's like they were pointing to the Obamas, and we all know what they're about. So I've always wondered about Harry, just because, they did the whole breakaway thing with Meghan. I mean, yeah, not into her. I'm not saying this is right, but then I think, did they do that to distract, and did they do that to get him out of the way, to keep him safe? And that whole thing. Who knows, because they do play the side really well. They do on both sides actually, but something like that, only because he's not Charles's. And there was a rumour he was supposed to bring in a book out about a load of stuff when the Queen passed, but I don't know how true that was. But it just makes me think, either way, I'm not really bothered. Because they're bringing the whole thing down anyway. But remember, in a story, in a movie, there's always twists and plots, and sometimes, it's like Game of Thrones, isn't it? The ones you really think are going to be about aren't, vice versa. But sometimes there's always a good twist and plot, like you never saw that one coming, meaning someone posing as a black hat is actually a white hat, vice versa as well. But I think there's a lot of that as well, because as we know, they had to do that. Mr. T had to do that. It's what people don't get. He had to get in the position he was in, with his money and stuff like that. And yes, he was around those sorts of people. It doesn't mean he did those sorts of things. Like people say, oh, he was on photos with Epstein. It's like, get a grip. Get a grip. I've always used the example of, if you're at a party, it's like we're going to some charity thing next month, something to do with my fella's friends, and they're doing something, and we just said we'd go to see. It's just something different. But if we went there and there was a friend I didn't like because I just didn't vibe with them, or I thought they were part of something nefarious, and pictures were being taken, like there's a photographer going around or something like that, and they're in the background, or they're even stood in a picture with us because, say, everyone's put money to this thing, so they wanted, I don't know, pictures of them people, and they were stood next to you, and you were sort of like, as soon as this picture's been taken, I'm going over there. It doesn't mean you're hanging around with them. It's a photo, and we all know photos can look, like something they're not. Like, for instance, the other week, one of the lads at work was, he's a bit of a joker. He took a picture of someone on his phone, and it was two guys packing a pallet. Just to say, the way he was bent down and the way this guy had took the picture, it looked a bit rude, but we all laughed at it because it was funny. And then when they got showed it, they were laughing because they were like, oh my God. But that is how the media work. And if they'd have put that picture out, it was innocent, it was just someone larking around, but because of the angle and the perception people would have, that's what they believe, when really that isn't the truth. And that's a lot with what's going on today and how they've always done that. Is this secret son with Camilla? Oh yeah, the thing with the secret son with Camilla, I don't know. I've talked on it before, I don't know. Do we need another king? I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's distraction. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not dissing the person who is putting that out, because stranger things happen. It wouldn't surprise me if something like that was going on. But then again, do we need them? But then again, I don't know. So that's why I don't really talk on stuff like that, because I don't even think we need a frigging monarchy. So I don't know. I did put a thing out on it once, and it's like I said, they shut people up, they shut people off, and if it came out to be true, it wouldn't surprise me. But would he want to take that part? But then again, like I said, if it's not, it's okay with me as well. It's like a lot of things. It's like, when you go down all these rabbit holes, it's like, flat earth versus the globe. I mean, I've been down all them. What do I think about it all? I just think whatever it is whatever it is. I'm not bothered either way. I call it a realm myself, but I'm not really bothered. I know some people say, oh, but then it, questions the thing of why did they lie? But I mean, they lie about everything. But that's the thing with a lot of stuff. I only take what's needed for me. If things were to be proven it was that, then I'd be like, that's fine, because I sort of, did a bit of research on it, can understand certain things. It's not a massive shock either way, but you get people sometimes that are so into something that this is where, if something came out and it wasn't exactly how they thought, I don't know, probably have a big breakdown. I'm just easy with some things. It's just like, yeah, that's fine. Oh yeah, he's just wanting the truthfulness. Yeah, and if it's a situation like that, like you just said, Angela, where he is, but he doesn't want the the enormity of that job sort of thing, and he just wants the truth, then that's good as well, because the truth again is the truth. And if it is the truth, it begs the question for everyone to be, why did they do that? Why did they get rid of him? And so on and so forth with the whole, shit show with the royal family. So, yeah. So either way, I think, but I think with things breaking more and things getting more crazy, and even with the Durham report, a lot of the stuff that a lot of us know about is all interlinked with the monarchy and Britain. Do you know what I mean? From way back, countries that took over this, that and the other, most people know. So it's all interlinked anyway. So that's why I say to people, just chill your beans and just keep watching the show. I'm nearly at work, I can't wait to get a cup of tea. I'm like dehydrated already. But yeah, so watch out for me this week, because I'll be coming on for a little chat and tarot or something like that. It might be tomorrow, I'm not sure, but I will be on this week. Your mindset, Janine, is so simple, yet so complicated. I'm so glad we met. Thank you, darling. Love to your family, of course. You keep strong, sweetheart. Thank you, National, and to Penny. If you don't know, in chat, I've actually met National, Memorial Gardens, and a few other people a few years ago with Roxanne, the Globalist, and I. So, I've been out there, met people. You were lovely too. Yeah, it is simple but complicated. I think it sounds complicated sometimes, but really it's quite simple, if that makes sense. But my mind is pretty simple. I'm pretty simple. I don't need to be highly intelligent, because, I'm not dissing people who are, but a lot of that's programming as well. Not everybody, but I think you get you understand what I'm saying. It's really simple, as in, when things don't make sense and it leaves you scratching your head, it's like, what the fuck? You're not aligning with it. Your body's telling you something. It's not true. But a lot of people who watch the news scratch their head and just go, oh well, and believe everything, because they're very gullible, because they believe that mainstream media, the government and everything, have got their best interests at heart, when we know they haven't. And that's why, I think if you've always resonated with films like Star Wars, The Rebellion, and like anyone rebelling, or you didn't get things at school and you were made to feel stupid because you weren't grasping certain things, they were trying to program you, which I did. That's because it's like the bullshit detector. You might not have known now, but when you look back, you're like, oh my god, it makes so much sense. So, yeah. And like I said, I'm not into politics. It's nothing to do with politics. People think, when I'm talking about Mr. T, to do with politics, it's not. But the only time I started talking on that was when he came in, because I saw something. And also, if I was voting, I'd vote for him all day long. But I've never voted. But I vote for world freedom, so liberation. So I'm at work, so I'm going to go now, and I'll see you all this week. Thanks for all coming in. You're clever. No, I just, I don't know. But thanks all for coming in. I'll see you later. Bye.